Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today? Thanks for coming this morning and spending a few moments. I won't keep you very long, but I do want to answer all your questions, talk a little bit about what's happening in the coming weeks and what I expect to happen in the future with some of the areas that aren't open yet. I do have an outline, and we'll kind of follow that. At the end, I'll leave a section for questions. Please, if you have some questions, make note of them. I'll answer all those at the end to the best that I can. I'll also provide you with a website that kind of outlines from Troon all of the phases and what will happen in each phase as we begin to open up each area. It's a real important thing. I have them printed out, but it's like 52 pages long, so rather than hand you that today, I'll let you look at them at home and go directly to the website so you can look at whether it's golf, fitness, the pool, any of the areas at the club, what happens at each phase and what we're all doing as Troon facilities to follow that procedure. The second page that I attached to you today is, if you go to the second page behind the agenda, it's kind of a COVID response. So I've been asked a lot of questions. What happens if something happens inside of the club? How do we handle that? What do we do, whether it's an employee, whether it's a member? Just so you know, I have been contacted by members throughout the last couple of months when they felt that they have possibly been exposed to this, and we follow that process. I keep that very private with that individual, and they do testing. So if that should happen to you, please note that I will be in communication with you on those steps. They self-quarantine, they go home, and they're tested. And so just so you know, no one has tested positive. So I have not had that happen yet, so know that. But I do want to just talk about what's happening in the coming weeks. And as we open up things towards phase one, what does food and beverage look like? What does it look like in phase two? What changes in phase three? So what really happens in those areas? Note that through all phases, we will always have an area inside that has the social distancing and has the parameters of that. So in phase three, even when we get to that phase where we allow guests back in, we allow more folks in dining areas, should we get to that piece, and whether it's a week or a month or whatever happens, there will always be an area going forward that has restricted space. So you'll have a place where you can go inside. If you're uncomfortable being in and around a lot of people, that will become the windmill room. So that's the room that we will serve in a restricted area, segregated away from a lot of folks. And we'll do that, and you'll see that in the website that I give you at the end of today, where you can go on and look at everything. Also, the forms are there. Should we have an incident in there, you'll see what I go through with our employees, with our HR department, with everybody. So I have a team at Troon that helps me through all of these steps and helps me guide if we do have an action. Remember that we're about to return 15 employees or so in food and beverage, and then once we begin to open fitness, another 10 employees that have not been around the property for 40 days. And so there'll be some new procedures in place with those folks and all of us while we're inside in inside space areas for you. And that's for your protection. And we'll also provide masks inside for those of you that feel you need to wear those as well. They'll be provided as you come into the clubhouse. So I'll kind of go through that step. So what's happening next week? We will continue to do what we're doing right now. Takeout food is always going to be an option as we move forward. We're going to continue the takeout pizza process. Chef is going to continue the parking lot tacos, which have been kind of popular on Mondays. We'll do some more outdoor use of the grills as we go into phase 1 and 2, so that we can do some more things outside. But we will begin to open up the inside spaces. That again happens on Wednesday. I have set, and Peter has set the table, so when we finish today, if you want to walk by the dining room, you'll see, kind of get an idea of what does 6 feet look like in the dining room, what are we going to be doing in there, and I'll explain that table side as well, what we'll be doing different with all of you. But we have seating for 68 folks inside. That's the complete space that we have available for inside seating. That's 17 tables. So there's very limited space and seating inside. We will set up the patio, and I think Peter mentioned to me an additional 16 to 18 seats out here with spacing as well. So if you're uncomfortable inside, outside will be an option for you. The only challenge with that will be if weather is poor. If we have a windy day or it's too difficult to sit outside, your only option at that point in time will be to take your food to go and not be able to go inside, because those seats will more than likely be occupied. If we can move you inside and there is availability, we will do that. But note that it's something you have to keep in mind when you make a reservation, if you make one outside on the patio. The pantry services will still be available, and you're going to see that the number of items reduced dramatically, more so because we're not seeing a lot of folks order those other items, but that doesn't mean you can't get what you want. All you need to do is email the chef. He'll be actually directly in charge of the pantry. For something that you need, can't find, want us to get for you, just send him a note. He'll make sure he gets it on his next order, and you'll have that. Whether it was something we had or something you're looking for. A number of you, has anyone done that prior to this all happening? I think a few folks have done that in the past, whether it's meats or fish or anything like that. If you're uncomfortable going down to the stores, and I know once we opened up retail, just to give you an example, I live closer to Chino Valley. The Safeway used to restrict how many people go in the store. That is now lifted. They're not letting anyone and everyone go in at the same time. So if you're uncomfortable out there, use the pantry services. Definitely take advantage of that when you can. But the dining hours, so we're going to do, just so we can manage, and I want to explain to you what we have to do different in the kitchen. So just like you are asked to social distance, I have to keep the team members as far apart from one another as we can at all times. There's some certain instances where we are closer, but it's a very short burst of time, and I only put people that have been together throughout this together. But we are going to try and very much limit that in the kitchen. There are only 4 individuals working right now to provide all that we're doing with food and beverage in the kitchen. And in order to keep that space the right setup, I'm only going to put 4 in there so that they can keep a distance away from each other. So we're asking that takeout food be from 3 to 5:30, unless you do a dinner at night and the weather is bad on the patio. Obviously you can take that to go, and we'll be able to accommodate that. If something should happen and we can accommodate other requests, we definitely will do it. But in order to handle a takeout and an in-service dining all at the same time at the level we're talking about, we need to kind of set some hours. So this is our first week of it. We'll probably have some bumps along the way, so bear with us as we move through it. The reservation portal is now open to make dinner reservations, so if you haven't used that online, that is now accessible again. I would advise you, like golf, as it fills up, 68 seats in there. It's as loud as I can make it, but I'll talk closely. With 68 seats in there, it's going to fill up fast. So the other thing that I'm asking everyone, if you do dine, and I'll talk about our steps and how we're allowing that, I would tell you all, limit your time if you can, so that we can accommodate a turn on your table. You can always come outside, sit at one of the tables out here, the fire pits, and have a conversation and a cocktail. We'll make sure the cocktail servers are outside. But we want to make sure we do get as many folks in as we can. So we are only taking in each room, which we have about 29 seats in each room, 3 reservations every half an hour. So we're really limiting the amount of people in the rooms at one time, and then we're going to space you out accordingly. And you will have very limited server interaction. So there'll be a server to your table, but not all the other folks coming to your table. So we'll have a server doing most of the work, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. I'll answer questions too. Any questions on our first week? So we're just going to do dinner service the first week, other than the 9.5 hole will be open, coops will be open for lunch, and then the various things that we pop up will also be open for lunch. The 9.5 hole will stay open post this, so we're going to keep that going for outbound hot dogs and beers and whatever you might want there. The following week we'll incorporate lunches into the mix as well, so we'll have lunch and dinner. Okay, question in the back?
Yeah, are you going to put
Yeah, we're not going to ask you to leave, but when you're through meal service, and we're going to try and make sure that that's as quickly as we can get it to you. It is going to feel different in there. I'm just going to warn everybody, if you do go out and eat dinner, wherever you're going, when you see my service team in masks, and you see them in gloves, and you can't really see their faces, if you've been around that, it is a little awkward at first, but it's for your safety and your protection, because we have to get inside of that 6-foot area in order to serve you. So know that it'll be a little different in there, but we're going to make it, we're still the same people under those masks, we're still going to make it fun, we're still going to talk to you and interact with you in the ways that we always have. So just know that it'll be a little different inside.
Are dinners just going to be on the same regular nights?
Dinners right now will be on Wednesday night, Friday night, Saturday night. Thursdays we'll do a lunch service, and Sundays a lunch service. And as we begin to gain more staff members and I can do more, we'll expand more nights. Probably add Thursday night back into the rotation, and then we'll look at the weekends as well, what we add. So definitely we're going to add more as I can put more folks in there. I pushed our team pretty hard to do what we're doing for you right now, and they responded well, and I really appreciate Chef Richard and his team for doing what they're doing. But we're going to also do more things outside and more things that are a little different for meal service. So be patient with us as we begin to introduce some of those concepts to you. But the second week, like I said, we'll have lunch all those days, all the way through the week. Outbound pizza service will be available through every day, even on the off night days. So those who want to take home a pizza, that will be an option. You can pick it up from the 9.5 full, and we'll outline kind of how you can do that. But that's something that you can do every evening, as well as the normal menu. The menu is expanding. It's no longer going to be dinner for two, so you'll be ordering for yourself what you would like, and your spouse can do the same, or your companion that you have that evening. And I'll talk a little bit about that. How are we going to do that? As we've been riding around 4 people in 4 golf carts out there, now I'm going to set 4 people down at a table. The governor has adopted the CDC policy of 10 people as a limit at tables when you go downtown, because there's no way for anyone to know who's family, who's not. Here we do know a little bit more, and to begin this, because our space is so small, and for me to accommodate people and keep you safe, we're keeping our size to 4 or less. And I would ask you one other thing. I know some of you have been interacting with others, whether it's playing golf, maybe you sit out on your patio and have a glass of wine with some folks that are nearby to you. I would ask that you keep your circle fairly small of who you have dinner with. Try to be with the folks that you've been with. Obviously, if you have a larger family than 4, we will accommodate that, but you need to let us know that ahead of time so that we can set that table up. So if your mom and dad and your children are here, we obviously will allow you to dine with your family. But what we're not going to do is have 6 couples sitting at a table of 12. And those types of events right now in phase 1 are not allowed. The bar will not have seating. There will be no bar stools around the bar. There'll be a bartender serving to your table through the server. So the server will be the only one interacting with the table, but the bartender will be there to support that person. The bar comes back in phase 3 and phase 2 in limited form. Phase 2, it's 6-foot distance at the bar. So there are some more things. And you'll see that when you go to the website that I show you. You can look at each one. It's laid out very well to see what happens at each phase. I think we've defined a golf course specific, so you understand exactly how a golf course will work. Any other questions on dining, this part of dining right now? And we can ask more at the end. So as we move around, like I said, the governor has adopted the CDC policy of 10 people. Congregations of that size in close proximity, we're definitely going to speak to you if we see that. Again, it has to be some self-policing out in the property in different areas because we can't be everywhere at once. But please, to keep yourself safe, follow those guidelines and follow those steps when you're in larger groups, whether you're at Silent Moon Park or you're just outside after a round of golf. Be real careful with your circle and who you're with and how close you are all together. For the most part, you've been doing okay. Every now and then I'll see some people around the fire pit and in larger groups, and it's okay when husband and wife are together, but still try and be a distance away from everyone else. On dinner service, we're eliminating water on the tables. We're eliminating common bread service, so if we do serve bread to your table, it'll be for you and your spouse. And the other couple will have bread themselves as well. You won't be sharing things. Salt and pepper shakers won't be on the table. They'll be brought to you fast, and they'll be sterilized after each use. So anything you can all touch, menus will be thrown away after every use. So everything will be brand new when you have it. It'll be clean, sterilized, and brought to you with someone in gloves. So know that we're taking every precaution we can inside. And again, it outlines all this in the guidelines that you'll see for phase 1, 2, and 3. You'll see what we do. You'll see what's asked of you, and you'll see just general comments about the club itself. And we're following those guidelines pretty strictly as we move forward with inside work. Let's talk about the pool and fitness, because I know those are areas that have been brought up, and you'll see them outlined in these steps. There is a couple of states that are opening this week for fitness, one being my home state of Montana. It's opening on the 15th. And they are doing a very similar thing to dining, 50% occupancy. There will be less people in the fitness initially at one particular time. And really how we're ready to open fitness right now. It's been cleaned, it's been sterilized, everything's brand new in there. The stations are set up for sanitizing, which will also be set up in the clubhouse all over the place. Hand sanitizers, I have plenty of that. Probably 2 months, 2.5, 3 months worth of sanitizers, so we're in good shape there. They'll be out everywhere where you are coming in contact, and we're going to try and keep doors open as much as we can so you're not touching handles, touching things like that. Going into a bathroom, the doors will be propped open, so you'll just be simply walking in and out. Our sinks are all touchless, so you can wash your hands without touching a handle, which is nice, so make sure you wash your hands plenty when you're in and around, especially when you're eating. I would encourage that. Fitness, and I saw Scott had a question, but talking about fitness, it'll look a little bit more like the golf course when we open up. And what does that mean? Well, you're going to make a tee time to go into fitness. That's how this is going to work. So we'll open at 5 in the morning. They'll be manned. There'll be folks there when you come in, and there'll be folks there all through the day. Initially, it looks like we'll probably close between 6 and 7, depending upon the staffing that I have. But we'll be there all day. I have to have somebody in there with you at all times. I can't leave the fitness barn open unattended. That's one of our requirements. We have to have an attendant in there. If we have people that like to work out later in the evenings, and we see that as a request, we'll look at expanding a little longer at night. Is there anyone here that does work out after 7 o'clock at night? I know a lot of you work out in the morning, so we'll accommodate what we can and as we do it. But right now, we'll probably be providing between an hour to an hour and a quarter, an hour and a half per session. You will each be handed a towel from us. You obviously can bring a towel if you'd like, but we will have a clean and sterilized towel for you in there. I ask that you bring your own water bottles. We will have our disposable ones that you can take available instead of cups and common touch points. We do have a touchless fountain in there now, so you can fill up a bottle. It's chilled, it's cold, so you can bring your own water bottle and ice, whatever you need to drink. Be safe, take your own precautions like you would when you go into fitness and when that opens. When do I think that's going to happen? I thought I'd hear something Friday, Saturday, or Sunday from the governor on fitness and pools. They're going to be kind of common combined. Pools are going to open to fitness only at first. So there will be no lounging and swimming. It will be more lap swimming, classes, aerobics, those types of things that Andy will create. Phase 2 and 3 moves into recreational pool use. So you'll see that again in the packet that you'll be able to look at online. What can you do?
What's the process for making a reservation for the gym?
Yeah, you'll be, so it'll be manned. We'll be manning the gym. You'll be calling in. We'll have a number. You can call. There'll be an attendant answering the phone. You'll make a reservation. Right now, I don't have another good step for that. I can't use the golf module. It's specific to golf. Right. And I really have not seen a fitness module like this. There may be be something, we'll look at it, but right now it'll be call, and we're gonna ask you what you wanna work on. So if you're open to work on anything in the gym, you can say open. If you specifically want on a treadmill, we need to know that. We have 4 in there, and I can't put 4 people on 4 treadmills in 1 hour. We can put 2, but not 4. So we're gonna need to know a little more specific what you wanna do. They'll ask you that question. So if you wanna be on a stair climber or whatever you're gonna do, or a couple different things, you'll let us know so we can make sure we maximize the equipment use and you're not all showing up for the same thing. Yes?
Will the spin bikes remain outside?
Yes. We'll keep the spin bikes outside for now. Our guidelines tell us that we can do indoor classes. In Montana, they're not doing indoor fitness classes, so we'll see what the governor says on that when it happens. But they have to be in groups of 10 or less, and obviously with the distancing in place. So we'll talk about those as I get a little more guidance from our own governor. Again, what the guidelines say in here from Troon is that we must also follow our own states. We're in 42 states. Every state's a little different, so these guidelines are generic, but if the state adopts something more specific, we have to follow that as well, just so you know. But again, pools and fitness will probably open up at the same time. That's my thinking with what the governor will do. I think he's made mention of that in his last conference, that he'd have more guidance soon. So as soon as I get that, we are ready to open both. The pool's being heated right now, it's being cleaned, everything, the chemicals are right in the pool, our systems are all operational. I'm just waiting for the green light and we can open up the next day. So that's where we're at. In some states, it's taking them time to get ready. We're ready to go right now, just so you all know. So we've taken this time to kind of get those places in shape. Yes, Scott? Yeah, we'll let you make them. So we looked at our use in the fitness, and to give you some idea, an average day is 50 to 60 people in the barn. Some days we'll have 80, some days we'll have 30. So I don't feel we're going to have an issue, although right now when you're all stuck at home and you're ready to kind of burn off what I call the COVID-15, the extra weight you put on by eating so well at home, you may want to be down there. So we're expecting a few more people, and we'll make sure we have enough hours to get everybody in there. You may have to adjust your time, so be patient with that, but we'll let you make them for the week. You know, just like golf, you'll be able to make them a week in advance, same type of a concept from what I expect to see. So I think golf opens up at 6 a.m. the week before. We'll open up at 5 a.m. the week before when somebody's in there, and you can call and set up your future appointments, okay? Again, it's going to be a learning process for us, so bear with them. They've not done this before. We'll get you in. We'll get you on equipment. We'll keep you safe. We're not recommending that you come in masks and work out. It's almost impossible for you to do that. But sanitize, wash your hands, really take precautions. Be careful around your face and mouth with what you're doing. And that's why I'm asking, bring your own water bottle, those types of things where you can make sure you know what's been handling that item. We are doing walkthroughs this week. If you didn't see that in the update of fitness, so you can come sign up for one of those to see the new equipment, see how it works. It is completely different. Light Fitness is our equipment provider. They do have an app. You can go on, whether you have Apple or Android, you can pull up the Light Fitness app. You're going to want it on your phone because each piece of equipment you can log in when you're working on it, and it will track what you're doing on it right to your phone. So know that there's some really neat technology in there. Each machine has its own TV built into it, the 32 channels. You have Pandora, music is already on there, and it's all Bluetooth. So you have no more cables connected to whatever you're doing or whatever you're bringing. You can connect to the machines directly Bluetooth and listen to what you want. So have a good set of Bluetooth speakers. Again, you know, we're not going to be using common headsets that we've been cleaning and sterilizing, or I don't even know how good those are. They didn't look like they were great quality. So bring a nice, or get a nice set of headphones that you want to wear, and know that everything in there is Bluetooth. There's a lot of new pieces of equipment. Yes.
How about the TVs?
The TVs on the the TVs on the walls work, and they can be changed and set. We'll have the attendants do all of that, so we'll ask that no one change those, but we'll change it for you if you want to watch something. But you have 32 specific channels on your machine, and we preset them on what we know people like to watch, but we have the ability to put other things on there. So just tell Andy or anyone in there if you have a request, and we can add that to the list of the 32. We can't have more than 32, but we can have 32 different channels if we want. If we want 32 channels on tennis, we can do that, but we just need to know what you want to watch when you're in
But are
there.
they hooked up, the ones on the walls, are they hooked up to Bluetooth as well?
The ones on the walls are not. Right now, we don't have the new TV technology on that. We're looking at that, though, replacing those. Those would be the 3 on the long wall, which you're talking about. Yeah. Everywhere else, you won't see a box or a cable box or all that stuff laying around under each machine. Each machine itself is its own TV, its own TV source. It's all running through Wi-Fi, which has all been boosted as well. So if you use Wi-Fi in there for anything, everything is upgraded in the pool and at fitness. So we've been doing that while you've been gone. Any other questions on fitness that I can answer right now? I can't give you the date. I'm hoping the governor's order was the 15th, things open. He hasn't said anything different yet, so maybe that's the date. I don't know. He's going to announce something on the 15th or what he's going to do. Like I said, other states are opening fitness and pool fitness right now, so it is happening.
Jay, does it make a difference that we're a private club?
It does not. It does not. I still have to follow the state and federal laws when it comes to this. And that's under guidance also by Troon and by our owner, so we've been doing that, making sure that we keep you all safe. To me, safety is the number one priority here. We've been trying to do that all along through this to keep you as safe as possible. Been doing a great job for us, and to my knowledge, I don't think we've had anyone in here that has had this virus, so that's great. I want to keep it that way. A little concerned, my initial reaction to opening dining was to say only you and your spouse, but that was very, very restrictive compared to what the governor's saying. And I understand you've been around others, so like I said, if you're only comfortable you and your spouse dining, make a reservation that way. No one will be seated with you, okay? And you will be spaced accordingly inside. We will have ventilation going. I have air sanitizers that we will be using every day in both fitness and in the clubhouse. So after each night, we'll be doing that. Again, I've stocked up on all the sanitizing things. Linda sent me a note on a nice thing on what we can do to even put some air scrubbers inside, and we're looking into that as well. So we will keep windows, doors, all kinds of air moving open just to kind of keep you safe. I know we all feel a little safer outside, but now you're going to be inside. With fitness classes outside, and by all means, if you're not comfortable going inside, do what you're doing right now. Order takeout. We'll still do that for you. Sit on the patio if you want to come down here and have dinner or lunch or do it whatever. If you want to sit around the corner or wherever you want a table, we'll make it happen for you. So we want to make sure you feel safe, you feel comfortable when you're coming down here. Yes.
Silent Moon Park. Would an outside guest be allowed there?
No, right now, under phase 1, our recommendation is no guests that haven't been in your home with you for a period of time. So obviously, if you have family guests in town, phase 1 still holds to the 14-day quarantining of guests and really limiting. I'm limiting any exposure from people coming to look at the club and dining. There will not be outside guests dining in the dining rooms
I think
with
that
you.
would change by the 1st of June.
Phase 2. So I'm hopeful, if you can tell me when and how this is going to go across the country. I mean, I have my opinions on this. I have some worries a little bit about this. Know that I'm going to keep you as safe as I can. The rest is up to our country and how we handle this. And like I said in my email a couple days ago, I'm not so worried about what we're doing. I'm worried about what others are going to be doing in other places. And when you go out there, just be careful. Be real careful when you're out and about. This is a safety place, and you all feel that here. I feel somewhat safe at certain. I'll tell you, I feel probably the most safe at any store when I go to Costco. That's probably the safest store I feel. Because everyone's in a mask, and I don't know, I just feel safe in there. But I go to Fry's or some of the other stores, I don't feel that way. And I think dining is going to be the same way. So just be careful. Again, we want to try and limit as much as we can. Those other restaurants, support them by all means, but maybe takeout for a while is the best way to do it. Because they're going to still all offer that as well. There's no way that we're going to do away with takeout.
Jake,
Yes.
just for clarification, during phase one, guests are not to be brought in for what? Golf, anything?
Golf is a little bit different. We've allowed golf with betting, so you do need to contact either Steve or myself before we let guests into golf. Like for instance, if you have a colleague that's been quarantined at home that you're working with, that comes up in golf and you're riding in separate carts, that's a whole other story than sitting across the table a foot apart from one another and dining amongst our members. So I am going to limit it in dining. For another reason, I want to make sure we get all our members in to dining. So for now, phase one, no guests inside. If you want to do takeout with your guests, that's fine. If you have some people that are visiting, there'll always be an option for you to do meals. It's just these inside spaces, no guests and fitness right now as well when we open that. This will be members only. Same with the pool. Will be members only in those areas as well. On to phase one. Phase two introduces guests back in 6-foot distances, just like this. Phase three in food and beverage sets up the bar and the center room just like normal, but the window room will be 6-foot spacing, like I said before. That's how we'll move forward. There'll be a separate bartender in there for you if you want to limit the amount of interaction, and we'll really keep the space as safe as we can if you have concerns. We're gonna watch this very closely, and if something happens, if we get an instance, note that I won't close the club down if we get a case of this, unless it's employee-driven and they're around a lot of you. I may have to close the restaurant down or whatever space they're in for a 2 or 3 day period while we completely, and it won't be a sanitation by us, it will be a professional company coming in if that happens. That's one of our requirements by TRUM, that we do not do that we bring somebody in that's licensed to do that, and we would clean all areas. But we would also be in contact with whoever else was in contact with anybody. So I'm really stressing to my staff, to give you some idea of what we're doing right now with the pantry service and those of us that are out here. Our owner, through myself and guidance, I asked my owner if we could provide the pantry services for all of our employees at no cost. And he agreed to do that. So our employees are not shopping, they're not going out, they go here, they go home, they come right back. That's what they're doing. So we're trying to keep ourselves as safe as we can. I mean, this is our home too, just like it is yours, and this is our safety. We all feel safer here than we do anywhere else, so we're not doing anything to jeopardize that. These folks, when they go, they come right back and forth when they leave the gate. So note that we're doing everything we can to keep everybody safe.
Have the employees been subjected to travel restrictions or anything like while they've been off?
They haven't, but they're under the last couple of weeks in quarantine, so they can't be doing things outside of their home to return back. And when they do return, they'll all be in protected gear, all of them, including all of us that are here right now. We'll still be doing that as well. But no, I don't know where they've been, nor do we know where anyone's been, when you're in contact with anyone outside. So that's where you also need to make sure you are, when you finish, before you eat, when you finish eating, if you're more comfortable in a mask when you're done and sitting there having a conversation, then put it on. Definitely, by all means, be safe. We'll provide those. We've ordered a number of them here, the disposable type that you can wear when you come in. So yes, Michael.
Phase one, I've noticed so far in Coops, other than the mailman, who's obsessively being careful, and I appreciate that, but I've seen a landscaper in there buying a drink. I don't know who these people are, or what they're doing.
I'll make sure that we watch that and monitor that, and they will be told to do so accordingly. Yes?
Questions. We can't hear what's being asked.
Okay, question was asked, just there was an appearance that in Coops there was somebody outside, possibly a landscaper, somebody in there. And I'll make sure the girls know that if it's somebody from the outside, they're not to be in there. Now, I will talk about the mail, because that's been an interesting topic with our boundaries that we placed up around mail. And I'll tell you a little bit about what I want you all to be doing and really taking upon yourself during that phase when mail is being delivered. Just so you know, the number of Amazon packages that are now arriving at the club have at least quadrupled. It now takes them, and I think one day I at least saw 7 or 8 DSW packages, and ladies, I know what those are. So your husbands may not know what's in those boxes, but I do. So I hope your feet look really good. But it's taken 2 trucks to bring the Amazon packages in. 2 trucks for them to haul them in. So as they come in right now, it's taking mail a little longer to be produced, to get out, to get in boxes. We're now opening up the other bank of boxes on the other side. So be real careful when you're in there. When we put the barriers up that say do not cross or do not enter, that's for the mailmen to get done with their job as quickly as possible. And it allows them the room to do what they need to do and for your mail to be safe and secure. And note that if we had pods, and I know some of you have asked about these being in the neighborhood, if you walked up to one of those pods when they had them all open, they would run you off. They would tell you it's a federal offense to be near an open pod of mail. You cannot be near them. So give them space. It takes them 2 hours to put the mail out, maybe 2.5, 3 with all the boxes. Now you have 20, 21, 22 other hours to pick up your mail. Those 2 hours are not the time to pick up your mail when they're there. Okay, just wait, come back when they're done. It just helps them get through it a lot quicker, and they're not, elbowing you out of the way to get their stuff done while you're trying to jump over boxes to get to your box of mail. Please do that for them. Yes, question in the back?
Yes, the golf shop, I've been in, I had my gloves re-ripped. There's nobody wearing masks or gloves. Is that the way it's gonna be?
The golf shop folks, when they do work on any of your equipment, they are in gloves, and you'll see them in gloves often. Steve, Ron, they do wear gloves. Mask-wise, I'm going to have a discussion with them. Inside, when we open up full retail and we have more than one person or more in there, we will put the folks everywhere, whether it's Coops, Fitness, inside, outside. The big problem for me with masks, for a while, I couldn't get them. So now we have them. We have a number of them. We have the portable ones or the homemade ones that we have, but we have plenty of masks now. So and if you need any, let me know. We can also help you in that situation if you do not have masks, and you'll be able to get them in dining when you come in. Yes.
Also, Kim, I don't know if this is, let us know if somebody has COVID-19.
I will notify the club, but it will not be. I cannot tell you who has it. It's a HIPAA law. I can't tell you I can't even tell you what employee has it. Those of you that would be in contact with that person will know, because I will contact you if that happens. But again, for privacy, I can't publicize people's names or do anything like that. So note that there's a very strong investigative process. Again, if you have a pen or if you can remember this, it'll be on, I'm recording this too as well, but Troon Update, if you can remember this, troonupdate.com. That is the website that you want to go to that has the action plans for phase 1, 2, and 3 for all areas. It has all of the investigative forms. Should somebody get this on my team as a member, you'll see what I'll be asking of you to complete and fill out. So that we know where the interactions are at. I do want to keep the groups down to 4 or less, just so we keep the contact tracing down should something happen. Again, opening up inside does come with some risk, so note that. If you're willing to accept that, use those spaces, but take the safety precautions. Wash your hands, use the hand sanitizers, do all the things that you should be doing right now when you go out to any place in the public. I'm sure you're all doing that. So this is just another space that has been closed to you. It's been cleaned. In fact, everything you're sitting in, if you're using our stuff, is sanitized every day. Our cleaning crew comes out and does a heavy dose of sanitizer on all outdoor furniture. When you're in it, as best we can, we wipe it down. But if we don't get to that, make sure that you wash your hands before you, or use the hand sanitizers that are out at all the food stations, and they will be inside the bar areas as well. Rick?
Yeah, I apologize, I might not have exactly right. What did you say about the
Yes, the question was yes on golfing. I will allow that right now. We can allow guests, but I'm not allowing a foursome of folks coming from the outside to play in anything. I'm not allowing Room for Bay guests to come from other clubs to play here unless they're with you, unless they're vetted by you, and you're bringing them in. No guests are allowed currently at the club. We have no outings. All of those have been canceled right now or postponed. Our member events through the month of May are all by tea time. You can bring guests, but they must be with you, and they must be vetted through Steve and I. So those of you that have asked, and I know what's going on with your guests, you tell me a little bit about the situation. If you're just calling to bring somebody up here to get them out, I would use some caution during phase 1. Phase 2 allows it for sure. Phase 3 allows me to bring back all the outside people like normal. Basically, phase 3 is everything is normal with some distancing inside when you're in spaces. Okay? So you'll see that in phase 3. Phase 3 looks like a normal operation. And that's when we do shotgun tournaments. We do the phase, but we serve you. You know, the phase, the way you've had them before, where you're handling a spoon and a spatula or whatever you're doing, I don't think they'll ever return anywhere in the country after this. So, probably have less cases of the cold and the flu and everything else that go around. Yes.
This kind of sounds expensive. What's it gonna do to our dues?
Nothing. Well, we're actually the month of April, by what you did with takeout, we actually exceeded our budget. So we didn't plan on, we also did 3,000 rounds of golf versus a budget of 1,800. So when you see the golf stipulations about making tee times and about making sure that you're playing as a foursome rather than a bunch of twosomes, unless you really need that twosome time in the morning, we have those availabilities for you to get out and go, and there's also lots of times later in the day to do that. We want to try and make sure we accommodate as many as we can. Same with fitness. Follow our processes. Let's make sure we get how many are going to go in there. Right now I'm thinking it's probably going to be 6 to 8 at a time, just with our spacing. We can't put many more than that in there, and I don't think we've ever had many more than that in there at any time. So we will have 6 feet of space between you and somebody working out on another piece of equipment. And you will all have your own bottles to clean and sanitize with, and you'll be issued those when you walk in the door. So we will be doing it, but you will also be doing it. So if you're uncomfortable getting on anything, by all means clean it before you use it. And clean it when you're done, which I think many of you do it with wipes. If you don't, then we'll have the disinfectant wipes and spray bottles of, we have a COVID strength disinfectant that we use. Yes, outside classes will actually expand more outside, and for a long time here they'll be outside while the weather's conducive to doing that. They expand this week. If you didn't see the schedule, there are a bunch of classes outside. We'll continue that. Like I said, there was a spin class around the corner this morning outside. So we'll do as many things as we can outside and continue to do that. There'll be some new normals for sure. Any other questions?
Jake, back to the mail.
Yeah. Mail question.
Yeah.
Just so everybody over here
Oh,
can hear
mail
what you're
question.
saying.
Years ago, it was done by 11 o'clock, and then more people moved in, and sometimes it was done at 4, sometimes it was done at 11. It was all over the place. And before Andy, there was Pam, and she had it with her Instagram page. She would let everybody know, mail's here, it's done. Then we can come down and get it. Some of us live further away to come down just to waste the time. Plus, if he's still working on it, is there a way to get that back in?
Yeah, the question was, is there a way to notify you when mail's completed so that you know whether it happened at 11 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, 3, it could be all over. each particular mailman. We are working on notification plans right now, including a texting service, because not everyone's on social medias, on Instagram, on Facebook, on all these different things. We're actually setting it up this week, and all of your cell numbers, if you provided those to us inside, or if your phone's at home, if you have a home phone that takes texting, some people's home phones do that, we'll be able to set you up, and you'll be able to actively engage with it's an outbound only texting service, so you can't necessarily respond back to me. You can, but we don't look at that page. It's not like coming to our phone. It goes to a mass center. But the notice, we'll do that. We'll put when mail is going out or when it's completed. Mail is done today, come on down. If you're waiting for something in particular. Another thing with Amazon, if you don't select the mail service, it's going to come USPS, which is the least expensive way to ship to yourself. But that comes there. So if you know you need something tomorrow or whenever you need it, if you pick UPS or FedEx, they'll go to your house. And if you really need something and you don't feel comfortable going down there, let us know, we'll deliver it to your house. We were doing that during all of this. We were running packages around from our team and crews. So if you need help, we'll do what we can to help you. We're here to help you, so let us know what we can do. Any other questions, everyone? I think that probably wraps it up. I'll hang around if you have some questions. We can stay 6 feet apart and you can ask me them. And I appreciate your time and patience with this. You've all been wonderful. Appreciate all the great comments and really want to recognize our team. Those of you that made a donation to help the staff out, I believe over 32 employees received some form of payment from that. The money was dispersed not only to those that aren't here, but to some of those that are here that have been impacted by this. So, in fact, in many cases, many of them here have received a portion of that. So thank you for that. Because some of them could have elected to walk away during this and go on unemployment and stay away. Probably would have made more money doing it with the way we are, but hopefully that changes soon. Scott? Pickleball courts will begin. I talked to the gentleman building it between May 24th and June 1st. They'll be down there beginning. It's a 30-day build of the court surface with reinforced structure underneath it. And while they're here, they'll also convert the 2 top courts to pickleball as well. It'll be pickleball courts with the option for tennis instead of tennis with the option for pickleball. Does that make sense?
So 30-day total build out?
30 days for the court to be set up and cured, and then they'll paint it, fence it, do all of that. So he said by probably mid to late June, you'll start seeing the finished products. Now, I don't know about landscaping and how we're doing all that around that. I'm kind of watching the dog park build, and that seems to, it goes and then it kind of slows. So we'll see what happens. I'm staying on those projects a little bit more, making sure that I know. I'll be extensively involved with it.